ಹಿಂದೆ ಹನುಮನು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುವನು.
हॅलो 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 वसावारीचा घेतला पावला निया वाळवंटी तुझी सावली कळा भेट घेण्या बिनेची निघाली तुझ्या राम घोषात इंद्रायणी. Flights, hotels, villas, apartments, holiday packages.
Make my trip. Travel की super app. Download.
A pleasant morning to one and all present over here. I, Sneha Shirati from 5th SEM CSE department,
And I, Sakshi Nayak from 5th SEM CSE department.
are present before you to take you through a knowledgeable journey. The first session to be held is on the topic IoT Analytics using AIML by Dr. Shashidhar G. Kulgudi, NITK Suratkal. Now I would request Shilpa to introduce our resource person to the gathering.
Good morning to everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce our resource person, Dr. Shashidhar G. Kulagudi sir. Currently, sir is working as a professor at NITK Suratkal, and coming to his education, sir has completed BE in Karnataka University, Dharwad, and completed his master's degree in Bengal Engineering and Science University, Howrah, West Bengal, with the second position to the university, and completed his PhD in Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, West Bengal. Sir has research interest in speech and image processing, human computer interaction, machine learning algorithms, and cloud computing. Sir has published 2 books, 8 book chapters, 45 journals, and 130 conferences, also 5 patents filed and 3 patents granted. Sir is professional member in IEEE, ISTE, ACM, IE, ISCA, and CSI. Sir has participated in more than 80 national and international workshops and conferences as an invited speaker, and conducted many 2 day workshops on basics of speech and image processing with hands-on sessions at NITK Suratkal and other institutions of India. Sir has been declared among the world's top 2% scientists in the field of research by the Stanford University for 2 years, consecutive years, 2022 and 23. With this brief introduction, I present Dr. Sridhar G. Kulagudi. Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa. Now I would request S.G. Golgi sir to welcome our resource person, Dr. Sridhar Golgudi. Thank you, sir.
Today, to enlighten us about IoT analytics using AI/ML, we would like to invite Dr. Shashidhar Kulgudi from NITK Suratkal.
Italy. So good morning to all of you. So I'm not an expert from IoT, but AIML and IoT I'm trying to relate. My basic research area is speech processing. I'll connect it to that. So how we can use this AIML and IoT in case of speech processing, emotion processing from speech. Basically, once I discuss It is better if it is an interactive session. Means I want you to ask questions, and whenever I ask questions, I want you to answer, so that all of us can be alive throughout this 1.5 to 2 hours, isn't it? So whenever I ask questions, I don't ask any questions which you do not know. Either we have studied them in high school, primary school, college, whenever it is. So try to answer whatever you know, so that our discussion will be more fruitful. Fine. So first two slides are about my college where I am working. So you might have seen this. It's available on website. It's a main building of NITK, and this is computer science building. NITK is established in 1960 as KREC, Karnataka Regional Engineering College, and later in 86 we started computer science department, and 2003 we have become NITK, means state government affiliated institution. Central government has taken, it was named as National Institute of Technology. Each state has got, now it's a government policy that each state has got one IIT, one NIT, one triple IT of central government affiliation. In that scheme it is changed. Presently we are NIRF rank 12. And one more interesting thing which I heard from our last NBA committee members is uh, NITK is first in India which received 6 years accreditation for all BTech courses for 2 consecutive terms. That we were not knowing that, and those people told. And NIT Calicut and NIT Trichy, they have also got, but not all branches, some branches they have got. Means second cycle of this NBA accreditation is completely towards OBE, outcome based education. So getting 6 years accreditation in that is little difficult. It was not given to anyone, and NITK is first of that. And computer science department, we are 17 in number, faculty members, and we work on all these areas: networks, medical imaging, speech processing, underwater communication. Whether will you be able to read these slides from the last benches? Is it possible reading the slides? Okay. So these are all the areas, then I did not have to read the things, it seems. And labs are open 24/7 for all the stakeholders, students and faculty members. This is this black one, whatever you are seeing, is a forest. And what is this one? Huh? Sea. That's a sea. This is a view of a sea from my cabin. So once I sit my cabin and take, this is a view. So I invite all of you to come once and visit and see this beautiful this thing scene. And recently we have started part-time PhD. Earlier part-time PhDs we were not permitting. Now we have started it. If anybody is seriously interested in pursuing PhD, something of that kind, even if you are not willing to stay there full time for 4 or 5 years, first one semester you can stay there, complete coursework, and come back to your place and continue PhD. So that option also you can explore. AIML, as you know, any idea about AIML? Artificial intelligence, machine learning. So what do you know about that? What is the application, main application of ML? Where do we use? Anything, whatever you know, you can tell. Now it's a buzzword, isn't it? Since last 5 years, all of us are hearing AI, ML everywhere. And now there are more AI students, more ML students in college also. What does it deal with? One important application of AI, ML is whenever we have a huge data, large data, processing it by the technology what we have today is not that easy. Because whatever technology we have search algorithms, we have sorting algorithms. Mainly in computer science, what we do is searching and sorting algorithms. Using that, processing big data, huge data, and getting out some knowledge out of it, which we call as data mining. The purpose of data mining is huge data warehouse we have, huge data we have, and get some knowledge out of that, and that knowledge can be used in future to do something. So that kind of thing is not possible using the algorithms which we have today. So AI and ML applications will solve this problem. Means it's called as artificial intelligence. What we have is a natural intelligence. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from the examples. We learn from experience. And whatever algorithms we have today, which we are using, write a program to sort list of 10 numbers. If you miss a semicolon there, and if you try to run it, if you 1000 times run also, that semicolon missing will be given as error to you. Means our algorithms are not capable of learning from the mistakes, right? Which is not attribute of normal human being. If I do some mistake today, tomorrow I will rectify that mistake, isn't it? So, can we develop those kind of algorithms? That is an initiation of AI, artificial intelligence. We got succeed into that. Now we can process a big data set and get some knowledge out of it, and we can use it, which are called as recommender systems. Have you heard about recommender systems? Food recommender systems, movie recommender systems, song recommender systems, where they study your behavior. So I have a very likings towards North Indian food. Wherever I go, I search North Indian hotel and I go to that place. So then once you go to Bangalore and you have no clues where is a good North Indian food available, then based on your GPS information, system can recommend you this is the nearest hotel not where you get very good North Indian food. Those are called as recommender systems. Similarly, you have movie recommender systems, what kind of movie you like. Similarly, you have song recommender systems. Hmm. So those kind of systems learn from the data which you have developed in a course of time. Like the data which I have developed is because of my doings, what I do, what I eat. So that data it studies, and after studying that data, it gives you the recommendations. So that is an attribute of ML, machine learning. So wherever you can do these kind of things, you have a large data, process that data, take certain decisions. We have an application of AI and ML. This is one part. The other part is IoT. What is IoT? Internet of Things. What is a major thing in IoT? You can change the data, means exchange the data, exchange of data. IoT is a very complicated thing. Heterogeneous devices should be able to talk. Normally, whenever in the network or somewhere we try to establish a communication, there is a protocol. That protocol is a predefined set of rules. Use those rules and I can transfer data from this point to this point. Both the machines know what this is sending, what are the rules, and how it has to be received. There is no problem. But IoT is something different. What is the difference? My mobile, my remote which I use to switch on fans and switch on TVs, and my AC system, all this should communicate. Establishing communication in case of heterogeneous systems is not easy. Lot of network programs, if you are writing some network socket programming and all, you know, lot of network programs are to be written just to establish homogeneous communication. Think of a heterogeneous communication. The technology of this device is not same as the technology of AC remote. I should be able to control AC with this device. Not easy. Now you can control all your home appliances using your mobile phone. Know that kind of technology has come. Means your mobile system, mobile device should know what is the technology, working technology of AC. It should know what is the working technology of your microwave oven. It should know what is the working technology of a fan, what's working technology of TV, and it should be able to exchange the information. What sir said, fine. So this is IoT, and very basic building block of IoT is, what is the basic building block of any IoT system? Sensors. Sensors are what? Sensors are the devices which collect data. Say for example, I want to do weather forecasting. So for that I have to collect humidity information, humidity data. I have to collect what is the temperature. I have to collect what is the cloud occurrence and all. So all this data will be connected by different sensors. Your IoT system is nothing like it is similar to your body. We have sensors in our body, isn't it? Do we have? What are the sensors? We have sense organs. We have 5 sense organs. These 5 sense organs keep sending some data. What's the data? I'm eating something, it's very hot, very spicy. Brain tells that don't eat that. Second bite I'll not take. So I touch something, it's very hot. Brain tells information that it's very hot, don't touch it. Second time I'll not touch it. So this way, several sensors will sense the data that will be stored at some place, and this data is to be processed later. Fine. Whatever IoT is talking now it is talking of collecting a data and saving it at some point. In some structured, we have structured data, unstructured data. You know that, isn't it? Structured data means what is it? Whatever data you can store in the form of tables, which is easy for us. Easy for us in the sense computer. Whenever I say us, I am talking about computers. Computers can very easily access this data if it is in the tabular form, and it can process it and store the result back. Unstructured data, the data which is not in the tabular form. Example, videos is one kind of data, then files, images, or a display summary what doctor writes. Not display, discharge summary. Whenever we are admitted to hospital, if we are to be discharged, then doctor writes one summary, a paragraph of something. So what has happened to him, what treatment is given, what medicines are given, how many days he has to continue this, and what food precautions he has to take. That's a discharge summary which is in the form of text. Textual information or unstructured data, system faces a lot of difficulty in processing that because it doesn't know what information, how to process, where it is, how to keep it. But mostly in IoT, we have reached a standard where all the data that is sent by sensors will be stored in the form of tables. Tabular form of data we know, but storing tabular form of data is not sufficient if you want to get some knowledge out of it, isn't it? It should be systematically processed by some algorithm. If, without algorithm processing that data, collecting data is of no meaning, it's of no use. So what was thought? Can we have some unit along with this IoT which is responsible for processing and taking certain decision about this data? All our AI ML algorithms, what they do, they are meant for processing huge data. Cloud computing. Cloud computing is basically your system should be capable of processing huge amount of data, large data, very large data, which our normal algorithms will not be doing. Fine. So attach one AIML. If you attach one AIML box, functional box, to this IoT functional box, then lot many things we can do. Purpose of IoT is not, it will not end just once you complete data collection. Data collection is one part, fine. So after that has to be processed and some decision is to be taken. That is an end product. Fine. So AI ML applications in case of IoT, they are much important. Without component of AI ML, your IoT system is not perfect and not complete. Earlier IoT was totally different. Once this AI ML as a field of studies came, it has got applications everywhere. Fine. Say if you take a medical field, you will have nowadays doctors cannot take any decisions without lab tests, isn't it? Our earlier doctors, they're totally different. If you see doctors during Mughal era, Mughal period, uh, normally during Mughal period, women are not allowed to come out of the house. If they get some ailments, diseases, then Hakim, a doctor, used to sit outside the room, and that lady who is ill will be inside. Both of them hold two ends of the thread, thin thread. Through that thread, this Hakim or a doctor used to recognize pulse rate of that lady who is sitting inside. It's possible. We have played when we were very young. We have played. We made phones with a matchbox. These things, and we used to talk, isn't it? At least some 10-15 meter comfortably we used to talk. Means signal transmission through thread is possible. That they had done, and just by sensing that, they used to give medicine. Just think of that expertise. And even even some 15-20 years back, if you go to doctor, first doctor used to hold it like this and they used to check, isn't it? With how many fingers they used to hold the wrist? If you have correctly remembered, it is 3 fingers. Why? With 2 fingers, can they not do it? One finger, will they not be able to do that? Human body is a combination of 3 major components. In Ayurveda, it is said Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Simultaneously, those doctors were capable of sensing those 3 parameters from just pulse, your pulse. What is Vata condition of your body, Pitta condition, and Kapha condition. If there is any imbalance, particular imbalance will cause particular disease, particular problem. So, what has to be given as a medicine to sort it out? They knew that. But now, if you go to doctor, probably doctors will not touch you. Expert doctors, if you go to very big hospitals, they will not touch. You go and tell, I got a chest pain. Then they simply write, go for echo, go for a treadmill. Let that results come. Based on that, I'll give my medicine. Even doctors do not give medicines based on those results. There is one more thing called as radiology. Have you heard about that? What is it? It is one AI machine, AI/ML machine, which can see these readings of a machine, and they can give some conclusion. This has happened. Based on that conclusion, it's a report of that test. I also can read that, isn't it? Why doctor is required? If something is high, then they give medicine related to that. We have many days before we had expert systems which would do this. Let's not worry about that. It will drag our discussion in the different end. But these devices, medical devices, are the sensors, MRI, echo, treadmill. These are all kinds of sensors. They measure different parameters of your body. Then one system, one program will be working which studies all these parameters and gives some outcome. And this might have happened. Your permissible range is this, and this parameter is slightly high, then this might be a problem. You have to give this medicine to reduce it. Again, it's a problem. It's a problem in the sense, what is a permissible BP? 120 by 80. We are all not machines, isn't it? If all of us are machines manufactured by a same kit, then this 120 by 80 would work. I have my different food practices. He has his different food practices. Different climate where I am living in, different body conditions, different genes. But what we are doing, we have set some standard 120 by 80. That is to not set by studying Indian data set. It is set by studying some American or UK data set. Sugar level 140. If it is beyond 140, you got a sugar, start taking medicines. That is not true actually. Let us not go into that. But what my point here is, all these devices work as sensors, IoT devices. And once information comes from that, only taking that information is not sufficient. Doctor should be able to take certain decision. There AI/ML applications come. The algorithms which can take this data, process them and give some decision. Fine. So applications of I have listed some of them here. Majority of them I have already said. So how project develops in future, that's called as prediction. Or you forget about project. So what is weather prediction the next year? If you Google it, you will get it, isn't it? What will be the weather on this day of 13th January in 2025? How is it done? These are all called as predictive analysis. We have some data which already we have received, sensor data. Based on that, what is today's temperature, today's weather in Chikodi, that we can decide. And based on this data, we can also predict the future data. It's possible, isn't it? If we have a child who is 95% in all from 1st to 9th, what will be his 10th percentage we can predict? What is that? Again, above 90%. Safely we can decide. It is called as linear prediction. Based on the linear analysis means we do not have any quadratic equations or something like quadratic means which has got power 2. Linear equation we can form with some weightage, and this will lead us to a prediction of the next year's performance. Likewise, all systems performance can be predicted. Weather system can be predicted, whether you get BP after 10 years or not, that can be predicted based on your today's parameters. For all that thing, this is all data processing. Data obtained from IoT devices and analysis is done by ML algorithms. So that is the first one. Second one is detect anomalies. Anomalies means what? Anomalies means some kind of problems, misbehavior, wrong performance. This is called as anomalies. If your network is behaving not as per your expectation, some attack might have happened or something might have happened. This you need to identify. That's called as anomaly detection. How will we do that now? One kind of studies is see what has happened, which program has come, and decide whether it is a genuine program or any intruder based on the properties of the program. Then you can decide that something has happened because of execution of this program. That's one kind of study. Other kind of study, you have a past data of behavior of that node, particular node or a particular network device, and you study that. Yesterday it was performing very well, today it's not performing. Something wrong might have gone. We are not interested what wrong might have gone, but we can say that some malicious activity, anomaly has happened. So for that again we need AIML algorithms. We have augmented intelligence by using image, video, audio. All of us have heard about autonomous vehicles, driverless vehicles, light combat aircrafts, isn't it? How do they work? Driverless vehicles, at least on the road from Kolhapur to Chikkodi, we cannot assume, because it's coming in the morning, so much traffic, and the way drivers used to drive their vehicles. Whenever you have to ask computers to do something, there should be a predefined systematic rules. Computers will be useful only in that applications. So no one from this region go for purchasing self-driven vehicles, at least for the next 10-15 years. Joke I am telling. And even some famous people who are there in this automobile industry, like Anand Mahindra, said that we will not prefer driverless vehicles in Indian context. It has got different complications, let's not worry about that. But we know now that driverless vehicles have been tested and they can work on the streets. What will they do? Important things that they do are they sense certain data. What's the traffic on the data? And what are the lighting conditions? Whether signal is being approached or not. This kind of data either through camera or through some other. Camera is a sensor, example of sensor. Likewise, there are some sensors. Through that sensors, that vehicle collects the information. So just collection is not sufficient. Different decision is to be taken. Whether speed of the vehicle is to be increased, whether a left turn is to be taken. Now you have GPS, isn't it? If you don't know the path, then if you put that map, it will tell you turn left, turn right. Where it goes, only God knows. Finally, after we reach destination, only we will come to know. Yesterday in Kolhapur, we were visiting one place, and 2 rounds we took. We could not reach. And recently in papers also we have seen one vehicle was stuck in a tunnel, truck, lorry, by following this GPS signal. There are certain problems, just we have to take them for funny reasons, but it's a great invention. Great invention. Taking all the roads, all possibilities, and giving you the direction to reach a particular place is not that easy. So once this is there, if it is integrated with your vehicle system, then it is easy for the vehicle to drive, move left, move right. Only thing is it has to sense any obstacles are coming in between. So all autonomous vehicles are the outcomes of your IoT system combined with AML algorithms. Fine. Similarly, you have lot many other things. AI algorithms process data from sensors. So we have something called as LIDAR. Do you know that? It's written here. Light detection and ranging from the surface. Radars will do it in air, which are used for military purposes and these airports, aeroplane movements and all. LiDARs, they do same task on surface, which is required for autonomous vehicles. Then we have to make real-time driving decisions. Fine, that's one example. AI is like a brain that helps IoT devices make smart decisions. IoT devices, data. From the data, we need to take decisions. That is most important. Till now, human beings were doing that. So once people come for placement, interviews, they see certain data. What data they see? They see your mark sheets, what are your grades, all those things they see. And they also give you some problems. They see how you solve them, your approach. This is all data. So after processing all this data, finally they take a decision whether you are to be recruited or not. That decision taking part is AIML part. Fine. So majority of the applications where these decisions are taken from the data, your AI works as a brain to IoT system. IoT system is like data, process it. After processing data, what do we get? After processing data, what do we get? Direct prediction. After processing data, what we get is information. Simple data is different. Information is different. Say for example, 40 units or in this room itself we will say. So let us say we are around 50 people. Out of 50 people, 40 people use pear soap every day for taking bath. This is data. 40 pear soaps are consumed. It's a data. What's the information out of it? Information out of it is probably many people need glycerin soap because climate is cold, isn't it? So this is information. Based on this, a company should decide I should send these many peer soaps to KIT campus. No, this KLE campus. So this is decision. So finally a decision is done at the brain. Processing data, we get information. Information helps us to take decision. So those are the things. This is one important interesting thing. Do you know how items are arranged in supermarkets? We have more different supermarkets are there, isn't it? D-Mart, Lulu Mart. So how do they arrange items on the shelf in supermarkets? Do they randomly arrange? Anything that comes today you keep it here, tomorrow you keep it there, day after tomorrow you keep it somewhere else. Do they do it like that? How do they arrange? What do you mean by? Can you tell something more? One sentence more about that. If bread is there, they put eggs. How do they know that two items are related? According to you, bread and egg are related, but according to me, bread and milk are related because I am vegetarian. How do they decide? Any idea? Experience, yes, sir. Purchase history. So last 10 months, every day 10,000 people visit Lulu Mart, let us assume, more than that will visit. And how many people have purchased bread and egg together? And how many such people are there in the last 10 months? If more than 50% of the people who purchased egg and bread, they are purchasing them together, then it is better to keep them together. Fine. Many times once we go to supermarkets, with some intention of purchasing 10 items or 15 items, I make a list and I'll go. Isn't it? So while coming out of the market, how many items would you have been purchased? How many of you go to supermarkets? Almost all? Almost all of you have seen. At least my experience, I go inside the market with 10 items to be purchased. By the time I am out, not 20. 20 is good for my pocket, but at least 100 items we purchased. Means by keeping items side by side, they tempted me to purchase 90 items more. So profit to them, isn't it? How did they get this profit? Because of processing data. Here the sensor is your bills, data are your bills, and one AI algorithm, small AI algorithm that processes, how many people have purchased which items together, how many times. If it is more than 50, 60 times, then always you can lure people, you can attract people. So keep them together. I wanted to purchase only bread, then I'm tempted to purchase egg also. Tempted to purchase cheese also. Something like that. So these are the benefits what businessmen get because of processing data. Fine. Earlier these decisions we were not able to take. Some 20 years before, these kind of things, maybe they were available in New York at that time, but whatever data is available in New York, that will not work in India. Like 120/80, it will not work, isn't it? One observation, interesting observation done is in Walmart. They want to do similar study, and what they have seen is children's diaper and beer bottles. They were purchased together in lot many cases. 50-60% of the cases where these two things are purchased, those were observed. What is the decision? What is the social observation from this? Did you understand what question I asked? They observed that this beer and the children diapers are purchased together. What is the understanding of this? What is the interpretation of this data? AI could not do it.